Should I go? Bill, I need your help. Obviously, I must have some real issues to be seeking advice from a stand-up comedian, but here goes. You know what, dude? That's one of the truest things that's ever been said. Anyways, you know something? I was talking to Bobby Lee this weekend, who I'm going to have on the podcast. I love the guy to death. And he said a couple really nice things to me and when we were backstage. And as I went to return the compliments, he literally imploded and ran out of the room. Just at the thought of hearing me say something nice about him. And I just laughed. Because he was making a joke about it, but he seriously left and slammed the door as I was mid-complimenting him and left me in this room by myself. And I just laughed out loud to myself and just said, comedians. So, sir, you're 100% right to sit there and to seek advice from a stand-up comedian. You got to be out of your mind. But this advice is free. Here we go. A couple years ago, I decided to travel the world, he says, due to boredom, or she says, who knows, due to boredom and just a general feeling of unhappiness. Well, that's a good thing to do. I needed to get away. Everything went great from there. I met so many good people, enjoyed my time in other countries, and ended up feeling so much better in the end. Yeah, dude, you had an adventure. He said, I recently decided to go home for a visit before continuing on, and it ended up in a disaster. Oh, so you were still traveling the world and you decided to go home, or you were back in the States and decided to go to your hometown? I don't know. Either way, you went home from wherever the hell you were at. My parents were fighting. Most of my friends had either changed or left, and it turned out to be a real shitty time for me. The question is, am I wrong to want to travel still? I am leaving again straight away, and most people I know are making me feel terrible that I want to leave. It's nothing personal. I just don't feel happy here, and I really miss the friends that I made in other places. Should I make the people feel bad, or is it time to tell them to suck a big fat one? Oh, should I let people make me feel bad, or is it time to tell them to suck the big fat one? Dude, you're following your heart. It's a great story. You should go for it. And you learned the awful lesson that everybody has to learn is that you can never go home. Okay? Because people move on, people change. You walk into that bar, and you're not going to see anybody that you know anymore. And if you do, they're going to be a lot fatter and a lot sadder. Something awful is going to happen, you know? They ruptured their spleen. You just don't want to do it. You just don't want to do it. You know? So go live your life. The reason why you feel happy when you're out there traveling, I feel, is because you're following your heart. You're listening to that voice that's telling you what to do. You go back to that town, everybody's negative, people are fighting. Of course they don't want you to leave. They don't want you to make something of yourself because they're still sitting there sipping on a fucking Miller. So, yeah, you don't have to tell them to suck a big fat one. You just be like, you know, this is what I want to do. And then just send them cards from all over the world. And that'll make them even more angry as they sit there watching you get blown in Venice on one of those fucking boats with that dude in the striped shirt. He's not blowing you, of course. It's some other chick with a mole right above her lip. And he's sitting there singing a song trying to drown out the sound of her sucking your dick. That's basically how it goes down. Is that a good picture? You know? Hey, you know what? Why don't you fucking go travel, go buy some exotic snakes and sell them to that other dude who's trying to start his business. Then you take the money that you made, right? And you fucking use that to travel more. See that? Connecting via the podcast. All right, we got a fat fuck redemption. We got a redemption here. This is a nice shout out to Tosh.0. This guy's obviously a Tosh.0 fan. I'm not trying to steal anything from that show. Fat fuck redemption. Bill, I'm a 35-year-old guy, and I've been a big fat fuck for most of my life. Well, you know what, sir? The first step is admitting it. The fact that you can call yourself a big fat fuck, you know? It's like me when I go through my periods when I know I need to quit drinking. It's what I say to myself. Oh, Billy Fat again. Big fucking stupid fucking head full of booze. Big John Travolta fucking head loser. Stop your drinking. That's what I do. Or else I won't listen to myself. Has this podcast gone off the rails? I feel like I can't even think right now. Anyways, I developed an amazing set of breasts at the tender age of 13. All right, this is a guy. I just had to look at the name. That still puts both of my sister's racks to shame. 420 pounds was my heaviest, but I am also 6'7" and built like the Irish Sasquatch, so I carry it pretty well. You see what I'm saying? This is why this guy's so funny. He grew tits at 13. He's 6'7". He's 420 pounds. There's no way to not look like that and not be a funny motherfucker. About 10 years ago, I dropped 150 pounds through diet and exercise. I had a whole new life, new career, beautiful women, the whole shebang. I had a good 7-year run. Yeah, dude, that's great, man. 7 years. You're a funny motherfucker. You're 6'7". They probably feel like they're being held by a big bear. You make them feel safe, and next thing you know, they're fucking you. I totally see it. Totally see it. So anyways, he says, so here's my dilemma. About 3 years ago, I got off the track and put a lot of the weight back on and haven't had a girlfriend the whole time, mostly by choice. You went into some self-loathing thing. I'm back in the groove now, dropping the weight and getting healthy again. I want to settle down and start something serious with the woman of my dreams, but I still have about 50, 60 pounds to work off. In a perfect world, it would be all about inner beauty and personality and shit, but let's be realistic. A smart, talented, good-looking, health-conscious woman is just not going to settle for a dude who is swinging around bigger tits than her. You know what, dude? Personality goes a long way, but you're 100% right when you're talking about the man tits. You got to get rid of them. He says, I suck at casual dating, and I tend to get sucked into long-term relationships very easily. So my question is, do I wait till I'm in the prime shape again before I start getting serious with anyone? I'm not trying to be perfect, but I'm not looking for perfection. But I just want to be smart about it. What do you think about the Bricktop? All right. You have to learn how to. Not only are you losing weight, but you got to learn how to date, dude. All right. You've addressed that you're a fat fuck and you're dealing with that. You also got to address that you're codependent and you're fucking lonely. All right. And it sucks. If you're codependent, you're a relationship guy. So it's very easy for you to get sucked into relationships. But, you know, you can't take the first thing that comes down the pike. So what you this is the deal. You so know that you get sucked into a relationship. This is what I think. That you're like, all right, so if I'm going to get sucked into a relationship, I have to look the best that I can possibly look. So when I do get sucked into a relationship, I got a fucking, top shelf girl that I'm doing it with. I don't know. I don't think that that's going to work personally. I think you need to learn how to date. Just go out and start dating. And why don't you say that? I would say that on the date. So where's this going? Just be like, you know what? I'm in a period in my life when I'm trying to learn how to date. What does that mean? It means that I'm a relationship guy, and I tend to get sucked into relationships. And next thing you know, I'm in a relationship with someone I should have just had 1 or 2 dates with. So, I'm not trying to be, I'm just being upfront. That's where I'm at right now. So I have a list of questions, and judging by your answers, will depend if there's going to be date number 2. You don't have to say that last part, but definitely you gotta come at it that way, man. Just come right out of the gate like that. You know something? You'll get some fucking ass even with your goddamn tits talking like that. You walk into a bar, right? You sit there. You already got a sense of humor. You make them fucking laugh. Some girl's eventually going to come walking up to you, some mess, or maybe some fucking borderline cutie. They're insecure too, Maybe they don't like their fucking ass. Who knows what, right? They come walking up to you. So what's your deal? What are you doing just sitting here? And you just start talking about, there's nothing a fucking broad likes better than some fucking guy who's sitting there who's actually taking stock in himself, who seems like he's going to start taking life seriously, okay? Because they look at us and they see us for the morons that we are, led by our dicks, playing in mud puddles, breaking shit, acting like a bunch of fucking gorillas. So when they see somebody who's actually sitting there contemplating about where the fuck they're going in life and what they want, they're attracted to it. Not to mention you're 6'7", they're going to feel safe, and then they got to be wondering, well, is his dick 5'7", right? So you just hit him with that line. What are you doing? I'm trying to figure life out. I have to learn how to date, and they'll be all over it. What do you mean? Dating's easy. You should have fun. Next thing you know, we're fucking hands on your thigh. Right? Couple of limes in the Coronas, and next thing you know, whatever. All right. Hey, that's what I hope happens for you. All right.